Life expectancy, also known as average lifespan. Okay, so let's think about that in a species like humans who has a survivorship curve where lots and lots of us survive childhood. Lots and lots of us live, and it's not until we get into the last quarter of our life expectancy that a lot of us start to die off. So let's say we have a person who lives for 70 years. We're going to make a population of 3 people. A person who lives for 75 years, and a person who lives for 71 years. Okay, what's our average? How do we get an average? Add them all up, divide by 3. Okay, I won't make you all get calculators. 70 plus 75 plus 71. So we have 216 divided by 3. What's our average life expectancy? 72. Yeah, 72, even. Okay. So this gives you an average life expectancy of 72 years. Now, so we'll shrink this. Oops, somehow the P got trapped in that. Okay, let's think about this for a population that has a survivorship curve that looks like that. So that was that type 2 curve, if you recall. So for a type 2 curve, let's say we have an individual that lives to be 5 years old, an individual who lives to be 20 years old, and an individual who lives to be 70 years old. Now what's our average life expectancy? 31. Something like that, yeah, so 95. 95 divided by 3. 31. Yeah, 31.6, basically. Okay. Now, does that mean that we don't have individuals that live to be a lot older than 31? No. We can have 70-year-old individuals in this population. But the average life expectancy is much lower. Okay, now let's look at the same idea for a population or a species that has a survivorship curve like that. So in a survivorship curve like this, remember this is 50% of lifespan, 25, 75, 100% of lifespan. So a lot of them are dying when? Young. A lot of them might be dying at birth. So let's say we have an individual that dies at less than 1 year, basically 0 years, at or near birth. We have another individual that dies at 5 years. But then we have an individual that lives to 70 years. What's the average life expectancy here? Tyler's got a calculator. You probably all have them too.
5?
No. So add them up, divide by 3. 75 divided by 3 is? 25. That's just arithmetic, but that's okay. So here we have a 25-year life expectancy. Do we have plenty of individuals that live to be more than 25? Yeah. Average life expectancy isn't how long you're going to live. It's the average. What really drags down average life expectancy?
Doing a drug.
Whole separate conversation. lots of individuals dying young. So think back to this country. We talked about this a little bit before. Like, how many of you have grandparents or great-grandparents who were from families of 10 or more? Plenty of you probably. But it's likely that they lost one or two kids in childhood. If you look at the records, what class is it where you read Angela's Ashes? Is that sophomore English or is that junior? Junior year? Okay. I had a student sum it up once as they were really poor and really miserable and really desperate in Ireland, so they came to the U.S. and they were really poor and really miserable and really desperate, and then they went back to Ireland and they were really poor and really miserable and really desperate. Woohoo! It's a really uplifting novel. And a bunch of their kids die. They have like 14 children and 7 of them die or something. I'm not giving you anything away. You'll figure it all out. When you have large numbers of very young people or very young organisms dying in a population, that drags down life expectancy. Now, with a population like this, if you make it to a quarter of your life expectancy, you got pretty good odds of living to a ripe old age. But not many things make it to here. Once you make it to here, your biggest risk is over. Okay? That drags down life expectancy. So just want you to understand the difference between life expectancy or average lifespan. Average lifespan does not equal how long any individual lives. Okay, life expectancy does not equal how long any individual lives. In periods of human history when we've had high infant mortality, average life expectancy is much lower. How many of you have heard things like, well, in the Middle Ages, people only lived to like 30? You heard that? Is it true?
Mm-hmm.
Why not?
I think it was some kind of birth.
Huh?
Some kind of birth.
We had a lot of death in the first days, weeks, and months of life. So if you have a lot of people dying before they even hit 1, what does that do to average life expectancy? Yeah, it pulls your average way down low. So, no, there were 70-year-olds during the Middle Ages. There were 60 and 70-year-olds. There were probably some 80 and 90-year-olds. But a lot of people died early. Okay?